And we're back, and this time I'm going to show you how to create circles in Inkscape. So someone asked me if I could do Inkscape tutorials for my channel. I gotta admit, I'm a beginner myself, but I thought maybe it's a good idea to create these beginner tutorials from the perspective of a beginner, so that way I run into the same problems as you might run in, and thus I can create perfect tutorials from that perspective. So the first question I had was, how can I change the language in Inkscape? So I want to use the English language for these tutorials, and you can do so under Edit, Preferences, and then you need to find the Interface option right there, and you can change the language right here. After you've changed it, you need to restart the program, so just close it and then start it again, and it should be in English now. So that's our starting point. And in this first tutorial in Inkscape, I want to talk about creating circles, and we've got a specific tool for that, which creates circles, ellipses, and arcs. You can drag it freeform, so just left click and then drag, or you can hold Control and you can see it snaps in certain increments, and a 45-degree angle gives you perfect circles. So if you hold that and go to a 45-degree angle with your cursor, you've got perfect circles. Make sure this tool is still selected and you've got a top menu that gives you a couple of options. So number one is you've got the X and the Y radius, and you can change that value. Let me set that to pixels. And if I now change that, you can see it gives us direct results in the example. And a perfect circle obviously has the same value for X and Y radius. You can always press Ctrl Z to undo the last step. Let me show you the start and end function. You can see it's not there when you deselect it and you use, for example, this cursor icon. So you need to have the ellipse icon selected to have this circle on the right hand side. And this affects the start and the end point. And you've got these three arc options, where you can, for example, create this pie chart or Pac-Man kind of shape. And you can also do that numerically, so with the numbers of start and end, and that's obviously 0 to 360 degrees, or 0 to 0. This closes your circle entirely. Let us talk about the functions on top. So we've got three different up there, and let us give it a stroke so that you can see what it does. You can do that under Object and Stroke, or simply at the bottom with a left click. Then go to Stroke Style. We've got a black stroke here, and I'll give it, let me change that to pixels, let's say 10 pixels. If we now use the top menu, you can see what the different icons do to the circle. So the first one was this Pac-Man kind of shape. The second one leaves it unclosed, and the third one closes it. So it closes the border or the stroke that we've given it. The last icon, it just closes the circle again, so that we have a full circle. Let me close that window. As I've done previously, you can use this cursor icon to resize it, and you can also hold Control when you do that to have it set to a perfect circle. You have to keep in mind, when you delete it, your last styles will be stored. So for example, when I create something like this, I'll delete that. And now I'll use the circle tool again. So it has also stored the last style that I've used right here in the top menu. And this is how you can create circles in Inkscape. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.